What's up everyone, it's DFO here, also known as DebatableFootballOpinions on Instagram. Today I'm going to be doing something new. I'm going to be predicting who the winner for this Champions League campaign will be. I'm recording and uploading this video as of May 6th, and with this whole coronavirus thing, so far only 4 teams have advanced to quarterfinals. And those teams are Atalanta, Atletico Madrid, Leipzig, and PSG. Meaning Dortmund, Valencia, Liverpool, and Spurs are all out of the competition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to predict the other 4 games left. Napoli, Barcelona, Juventus, Lyon, Chelsea, Bayern, and Man City versus Real Madrid. I'm going to predict those 4, and when we have our top 8, I'm going to do a draw out of the top 8 where everybody can go against each other no matter if they're in the same nation or if they played in the same group. I'm going to just make a draw out of those top 8 and we're going to go from there. Then we're going to predict who makes the semifinals and then finally who makes the final. Before we start, I just want to say 2 things. I'm going to make all my reasonings and all my thoughts based on the idea that every single team will have their injured players back in the team. For example, Real Madrid will have Hazard available, Man City will have Sane, Juventus will have Chiellini, and so on and so on. Just because I don't really know when the Champions League will come back, and I'm just assuming that by the time that it comes back, every injured player will be back and be 100% fit to play. So I'm going to take that into consideration. Another thing that you guys might want to know, some of you know this, some of you may not. I'm a Juventus fan, as you can see, but I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible. You guys know that I have a football page on Instagram and that I try to stay unbiased as much as possible. So no, I'm not going to go like crazy biased and be like, yeah, Juventus is going to make the final and then win it and then win the World Cup. It's not even a thing. But I just feel like it's something that I need to say. I'm a Juventus fan, but I am going to try to stay realistic and unbiased when predicting this tournament. So without further ado, let's get right into it. As you can see, we have the bracket right in front of us. Atalanta, PSG, Leipzig, and Atletico Madrid are all ahead. This does not mean that they're going to face each other as you can see in the bracket. It just means that they're ahead in the top 8. And once we have 8 teams, I'm going to randomize it once again, just like UEFA does. So no, ignore Atalanta, PSG. They're not going to go against each other. So we basically have to deal with these 4 right here remaining. We have Napoli versus Barcelona, Lyon versus Juventus, Bayern, Chelsea, Real Madrid, City. Now, so far, all of these teams have already played 1 leg, and I'm going to make my judgments based on that first leg as well. So in the first game, we have Napoli, Barcelona. This is actually one of those that I just, wasn't much to think about. I do rate Napoli, but this season they haven't been great. They've only been great against big sides. Barcelona, of course, is a huge side, a top team in the Champions League, but I don't think they got what it takes to beat Barcelona at home. I think that Barcelona, regardless of all the problems that they have in the board, inside the team, with a new manager, I think they're going to go through Napoli with ease. So no question about it, I'm just going to put Barcelona as the winner. That wasn't a tough one for me. No disrespect to Napoli, I just don't see them battling Barcelona head to head. Next one, we have Lyon Juventus. As you guys remember, Lyon beat Juventus. I know I said I wasn't going to be biased, and I don't think I'm being biased when I say this. Lyon beat Juventus 1-0. Now we play them in Italy, in the Juventus Stadium. We need to come back, and as you guys know, we have one player who loves to come back. He's always clutch. He's iconic when you need him. If you need a hat trick to come back, he's there. Basically, anytime you need to come back, he's the man that you want for the job. I'm obviously talking about Federico Bernardes. No, I'm not. I'm talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously. We have Cristiano Ronaldo. He's going to be as motivated as ever to beat Lyon at home. I also have to add the fact that as of recently, Juventus have looked a lot better towards the very end, right before they canceled the season and everything going on. I did get a lot of people telling me that Sarri is a long-term kind of manager, so you see his results, you see his play style as the team goes forward and forward. It's not something that you're going to see right away, and I did see little glimpses of that when we beat Inter a little bit comfortably towards the last few games. So I do think that we're going to beat Lyon. Juventus are going to be really motivated to beat Lyon at their home, at their stadium, in front of their fans. So I'm going to give Juventus the win. Next, we have Bayern and Chelsea. This is a bit of a no-brainer for me. I do rate Chelsea. I do think they've done wonders this season, considering the circumstances with them not being able to sign players, with them just having a bunch of inexperienced youngsters. They're doing wonders in the EPL, but they lost. Come on, we gotta say, they lost 3-0. I don't think there's any way the Bayern will blow this. I see them as one of the strongest teams, if not the strongest team in the world right now. So I don't think there's a way that Chelsea can come back this. Bayern have more experience. Both teams are still fighting for, in their respective leagues, but I gotta give Bayern. This is a no-brainer for me. I'm sorry, Chelsea fans, but Bayern advances to the next round. Now, this is probably the toughest one. You have Real Madrid and Man City. I do have a lot of things to say about this. Let's go over the teams first. Real Madrid, they're out of the Copa del Rey, and they're still fighting head-to-head versus Barcelona to see who wins La Liga, something that Real Madrid haven't won much of as of the last 10 years. Now, as a team, just like Barcelona, they've been underperforming during the whole season. Sure, Hazard would be back, but I just don't see the likes of Benzema, Jovic, and Modric performing as good as they should. There's obviously been a few players that have been up to their game, like Casemiro, Cruz, Courtois, but certainly underperforming this season. Taking into consideration that they're still fighting against Barca to be first place in La Liga, I don't see them as a great threat in the Champions League. When you look at Man City are done with their domestic cups. They're pretty much done with the EPL. They're pretty much considered second place. So the only thing that they have to fight for is the UCL. Considering they would have Sane back based on my conditions, and considering how motivated this team should be in a competition like this, a competition that they've been chasing for years, and considering that they won the game at the Bernabeu 2-1, I just don't see how the likes of Aguero, De Bruyne, they're great wingers, and Guardiola can blow this. Sure, you can tell me that Real Madrid have that UCL DNA where they play way better in the Champions League when necessary, but that didn't happen last year versus Ajax, and I don't think it'll happen this year either. So a little bit of controversy right here starting off, but I'm gonna put Man City as my clear winner. Obviously Madrid are not gonna go down without a fight, but I see Man City winning at their own home and therefore going to quarterfinals. So there you guys have it. My top 8: Atalanta, PSG, Leipzig, Atletico are the ones that we're already in. But then I added Barcelona, Juventus, Bayern, and Man City. Now I'm gonna randomize it one more time and we're gonna see how it looks. So give me just a minute. I'll randomize it. I'll go over my thoughts. I'll think about who should advance, and I'll be back right away. Okay guys, so I just randomized the teams, and this is how the quarterfinals of the Champions League look. The first round we got Leipzig versus PSG. Second round Juventus versus Barcelona. Third round Atalanta versus Bayern. And fourth round Man City versus Atletico Madrid. We're gonna start from the top. Leipzig versus PSG. I rate Leipzig so much. I rate their manager. I rate their team. They were obviously underdogs along with Atalanta this year, but they beat Spurs, a struggling Spurs I may add. Leipzig are still fighting for either top 4 or maybe even like first place in the Bundesliga. I think they're behind Bayern for like 5 points or something like that. So at this stage, they would still be fighting for the Bundesliga. I don't see them having that much squad depth when compared to the likes of PSG. PSG are done with their domestic cups, if I'm correct. They were already awarded the league title, so they should be 100% motivated, just like the likes of Man City or Juventus, to keep on advancing further and farther into the Champions League. I think the likes of Mbappe and Neymar and their forward line are just too much to handle for Leipzig. So I'm gonna give PSG the win. As much as I like Leipzig and what they've done so far, PSG are too big to handle for Leipzig, and I'm gonna give PSG the win. Mostly because they're done with all their other competitions, and just like Man City, this is what they want, this is what they've been dreaming of, and I don't think Leipzig is that big of a team to get in the way and stop them from getting it. Moving on to Juventus Barcelona, to be honest, this has been the toughest decision out of the 4 of them. I know I wasn't gonna be biased. You guys might think this is a bit controversial. Let's look at the teams. Juventus, like I said, they're still fighting for Coppa Italia. They're still fighting for the Scudetto, right along with Lazio and I guess Inter. I don't know how the title race would be up to this point, but I'd say Lazio are gonna fight till the very end. So Juventus, let's say they're still fighting for all competitions. They have a motivated Buffon who wants the Champions League. I don't know if he would start, but it's great to have as a leader in the locker room. Then you have the likes of Chiellini also being a great leader. Dybala, Ronaldo should be extremely motivated to keep it up in this competition. It's just a matter of whether Sarri gets the best out of the midfield. As of the last few games, we've seen a little bit of improvement. We've seen a little glimpse of what the midfield and the team could look like. So regardless of our struggles, regardless of our problems, I do see us fighting against Barcelona. Now, looking at Barcelona, I think they have problems in the locker room. Rakitic not being a crucial player to the team, wanting to play more, being linked to every single team in Europe every month. Then you have Vidal, who also wants to be a crucial part of the team. You have Messi trying to do the best with what he's got. Griezmann not fitting in the team as much as people thought he would. And you have the likes of Setien, new manager, who's still trying to find the best play style for this team, trying to shape the team as best as he can. But I don't think that's enough to stop a motivated Juventus, a motivated Cristiano Ronaldo. I said I wasn't going to be biased, but I thought of this very thoroughly, and I gotta give Juventus a win, just because Juventus, Barcelona, two teams that haven't been up to their standards. They both have been underperforming, but I think Juventus's problems are more fixable than Barcelona's, so I gotta give Juventus a win. Very controversial, probably the most controversial round up until now. I don't think being a Juventus fan is affecting my reasoning or my decision, but I do gotta put Juventus up there. I gotta add, Barcelona have struggled in quarterfinals and semifinals of the last past seasons. Their team doesn't look as motivated as they used to, and we've seen it before. We've seen that Juventus can indeed knock out Barcelona in far knockout stages of the Champions League. Now next you got Atalanta versus Bayern. I rate Atalanta so highly. I praised them all season long before they even started getting overhyped. I praised Gasperini for what he's done. There was talk about his squad not having enough depth, about them not being able to fighting all competitions. But look at their squad now. They're still fighting in Scudetto to make it top 4 to qualify for the Champions League once again. They made it out of the group stage out of a miracle, out of never giving up, tied versus Man City. And when they drew Valencia, a team that has its own experience in the Champions League, they showed a complete amazing effort, complete beautiful football, and that's what Atalanta do. I think they've won 7-0 in 4 different occasions this season, one of them against AC Milan. Everybody in this team deserves to be where they are now. I praise them very, very much and I admire them, but I don't think that their team is as well balanced as Bayern. I think this is where the underdog story of Atalanta ends. I think Bayern are very well rounded in every single position. They have, in my opinion, the best striker in the world right now, and I don't think the likes of Bayern will letting as many goals as Valencia did. I see Bayern advancing, but I don't see them crushing Atalanta. I see Atalanta fighting until the very last minute, but Bayern somewhat controlling the game, controlling the scoreline, and therefore making it through. I still gotta give a big shout out to Atalanta. If they were drawn anybody else, maybe Atletico Madrid, maybe Leipzig, or even Juventus, I would see them with a bigger chance. But I drew this randomly, and I do love my Atalanta. I just don't see them going through Bayern. So I gotta give Bayern the win. They're in semifinals for me. Now, Man City versus Atletico Madrid is a very tough one, but actually not really. Atletico Madrid beat Liverpool in that famous comeback, in that famous streak end, but I don't see them pulling the same thing that they did versus Man City. I think Man City are too big of an attacking threat to pull that defensive style football, like that park in the bus football that Simeone and Atletico Madrid are known for. I think it worked well against Liverpool. I don't see it working versus Man City. Man City, again, I gotta mention, they're done with their competitions. They're second place. They have nothing else to fight for except the Champions League. Atletico Madrid, on the other hand, they're 6th placed in La Liga. They're fighting for top 4, but this is a team that just can't afford to miss out on Champions League football. So I think they're gonna keep on fighting in La Liga, and they don't have enough squad depth as it is to fight against the likes of Man City. I do see them trying their usual football, of defensive style football that Simeone brings to the club, but I don't see it working against Man City. I think Man City are gonna be too motivated, and the likes of Aguero and De Bruyne just looks unstoppable, and they're gonna get through that Atletico Madrid defense. I think if anybody was gonna beat Liverpool, it had to be Atletico Madrid. It worked out at the end, but I don't see them pulling the same strings versus Man City. So I gotta give Man City the win, and they're in my semifinals. So there you guys have it. The top 4 of Champions League are PSG, Juventus, Bayern, and Man City. I'm gonna do the same thing because I know UEFA does a draw for semifinals now, so I'll be back in a second. Okay guys, funny thing is I made the draw and it basically looks the same. It's Juventus versus PSG and Man City versus Bayern. So we're gonna start off with Juventus versus PSG. I said I wasn't gonna be biased, and this is where it stops for Juventus. As much as I rate them, as much as I love my team, I think if this were to happen, if PSG made the semifinals, I don't see them blowing this whole thing against Juventus. I think PSG would be way too motivated, having the likes of Mbappe, Neymar, Icardi, just that attacking threat with the likes of Di Maria backing them up, with the likes of Keylor Navas, who are all very experienced and very skilled. And then you have the likes of Juventus, who would still be fighting for this Scudetto. I do think Lazio are going to pull up a fight until the very end. And they're also in Coppa Italia. And yes, you can say that Juventus are going to make the Champions League their priority, but I don't see them going against the likes of PSG. I think PSG are a huge powerhouse. They beat Dortmund for a reason. And this year, I actually think Dortmund are the better team than Juventus. So if PSG were able to get through Dortmund, through an inspired Dortmund that got out of the group of death in the Champions League this year, I definitely think that they can get through Juventus. As much as I hate to admit it, I give PSG the pass to the final. This kind of hurts, even though it's a simulation. This kind of hurts, but yeah, PSG go to the final. Juventus get knocked out in the semifinals. Now, Man City versus Bayern. Both teams are such powerhouses. Both teams want it very badly. Sure, Bayern would still be fighting for their Bundesliga title. I'm gonna give the Germans the pass to the final just because they have more experience, because they're better balanced throughout the whole team. They have the likes of Neuer, Pavard, Sule, Boateng, Alphonso Davies, who's one of the best left backs this season. You have Kimmich, you have Lewandowski, Gnabry. Lewandowski, again, I think he's the best striker this season, and I think they're too much for Man City to handle. Now, Man City don't have that much experience when it comes to this very late stages of the Champions League. Bayern do. I do think the Bayern would get the best out of Man City, and Bayern would make it. It would certainly be a tough game. It certainly go down to the very last minute. But Bayern are the most experienced, and even though they would still be fighting for the Bundesliga, I would see them going to the final and knocking Man City out. So I gotta give Bayern the final pass. So the final would be PSG and Bayern. I don't have much to say about this. It's pretty much the same thing as Bayern Man City. PSG are completely motivated to win this. They have the likes of Mbappe and Neymar trying to prove themselves, but it's the same case as Man City. Man City have the players who are extremely motivated in a competition like this. PSG, if anything, are more motivated than Man City, but I don't think that's enough to beat the likes of a well-rounded Bayern, a Bayern that has proved to be favorites in this competition. and has proved to be the best team in the world. So my final answer is I gotta give Bayern the win. I do think that they would be winners of the whole competition. So there you guys have it. Bayern would win the Champions League if this were the draws. I don't know if there's a single team out of the ones we mentioned that could beat Bayern. Obviously, a lot of the teams are underperforming this season, and we have 2 underdogs in the top 8. But I just don't see any other top side like Man City, Juventus, PSG, Barcelona beating the likes of Bayern. I think a lot of teams are underperforming, and I think Bayern is the best team in the world and are favorites to win the Champions League. So there you guys have it. I think Bayern would win the Champions League if these were the draws and if the Champions League competition were to keep on going. I'm more than happy to debate with all of you down in the comments. Let me know if you guys disagree with anything I said. Let me know if you guys agree and do think that Bayern are favorites. Obviously, with every prediction, you can go the logical way and go the easy way. I think I kind of went the easy way. I wasn't too risky. Obviously, in every competition, there's upsets, there's crazy things going on. You never know. There's underdogs actually winning games. So obviously, it's not going to go exactly like this. Plus, the draws won't be the same. But I still think Bayern are indeed the best team in the world and favorites to win the competition. Again, I'm more than happy to debate with all of you. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like it with a thumbs up. And you can also share with a friend who might enjoy this kind of content. Maybe send it to a Bayern fan or something. Other than that, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Cheers.